Hello, lovely, and welcome to the Essence of Expression podcast. Get ready to explore insights, lessons, practices, and wisdom from life for life. I'm your host, Arejay, healer, teacher, student, and sage. I'm excited and honored to have you with me on this journey. Let's dive in. So tonight, there's a question that came from a group that I'm in, and the question was regarding how do you change a negative lifestyle when everyone is doing it? And the first thing I would say is to challenge the assumption that everyone is doing it, because chances are that's not the case. Chances are what's really happening and going on is that the people in your circle, so maybe like friends, family, coworkers, are the people who are doing it. And that's not everyone, okay? That's just the people you are around the most. And so if that's the case, then one of the things that we can do is we can start to shift the spaces that we're in. So what is the positive lifestyle that you are trying to create? What does that look like? What are the details of it? And then look for spaces specifically that support that, right? So if you're like, if the part of the negative lifestyle is maybe you're not moving as much, right? Like you're not working out, you're not getting physical activity, and that's one of the things that you're looking to change, then great, a gym or a hiking group or a walking group, any number of things. I'm not sure if there are particular activities that you enjoy, but whatever the specific activity or the specific shift that you're looking for, where that's supported, like look for groups that do that thing that the people around you aren't doing that you want to be doing, right? And join those groups. And be willing to put yourself out there, right? Sometimes you may be in an area where it's not as easy to find those groups, so sometimes you're going to be the one to start the group, right? Sometimes it's just going to be like, hey, we're getting on social media, or maybe you're just talking to the people that you know low key. I say social media first because in my experience, it's often easier to find strangers who may be in similar situations and willing to like make the change than necessarily within your family or friend circles, just because sometimes we view something as a negative lifestyle and the people around us who are doing that are perfectly okay and satisfied with living that lifestyle and aren't desiring to change and aren't willing to change. So sometimes going to them is going to deflate you more because they may think it's something silly and ridiculous because what they're doing is fine, right? So it may be going more outside of your circles is probably what's going to happen first. Then the second thing I would say is to start small, right? What is one consistent step that you can take toward the positive lifestyle? Is there an easy swap that you can make? Are there tiny opportunities to plug in? And so, like, if we're sticking with the idea that maybe, you're not getting enough physical activity is the problem, and the change that you're looking to make is something more, getting more active, getting fit, getting in shape. So then we can look at things like, instead of sitting and watching TV, like you can stand up and walk, right? To watch the episode of whatever show you want to watch. So I'm not saying don't watch the show, but instead of sitting and being still, like find a way to put movement to it, right? If there are tiny opportunities to plug in. So one of the things I've done personally when I'm like, ooh, I'm not moving enough and I need to get like more movement into my life, is if I am heating up anything. I actually used to do this at work, and it was so funny because I'm totally willing to be thought that I'm crazy. It's fine by me. So in our lunchroom, like I would have to heat things up in the microwave, but while I'm waiting that moment or two for something to be heated up, right, I would do lunges, I would do squats, sometimes I would just do laps around the counter in the kitchen, whatever. But what are the little small, like a minute or less things that you can do to start plugging in, and like do that as much as you can, right? Look for those opportunities. The next thing, of course, is actually to be willing to let the people that you like in your circle, let them think you're crazy or that you think you're too good, etc., right? Because sometimes these are the reactions that people have when we decide that we want to change our lives for the better, right? The people who live the way that we're trying to move away from and don't see it as a problem will get defensive of maintaining that lifestyle and there not being a reason to change. And so if you are adamant that like, no, you're going to change and you don't want to do this, some of them, you may have one or two that like will support your change and your decision, even though like that's opposite of their lifestyle, but a lot of them might not. And a lot of them may, again, it might be that, oh, you're ridiculous, it's perfectly fine, you don't need to do anything. Some of them, because if it's how you've lived up till now, and that's where a lot of your bonds have formed, like some of them are going to be like, oh, so now you're too good for us, now you think you're better than this, right? And it's not that you're thinking that you're better than somebody, right? But it is about you choosing what is right and best for you. And if you've realized that what this lifestyle is not it, and you need to change, then you need to change, right? And go ahead and go with that. And just understand that there will be some judgment and pushback that comes with it. Do it anyway, right? Don't necessarily expect the people around you to come along for the ride. It can be really easy to, when we see what we view as an error or negative, and we're like, oh, I'm going to go for the positive, it can be really easy to immediately like want to share what we've seen with people. And the more entrenched in that lifestyle that you're moving away from that they are, the less likely they are going to want to hear about it, and even less likely to want to come along. So you can invite them, but I would caution you to not like try and force them to come along with you, or to like continuously repeat the whys and like repeat what's needing to be changed to them, right? Go ahead and just go on your own journey and be willing to look weird doing it and whatever else, right? But go ahead and do it for you and allow the changes to happen for you, and let those changes speak for themselves, right? Because a lot of times people will come along later and they may ask for you to show them how, right? And cool, be willing to do that, but don't try to force them to come along with you when you're starting out, because they haven't seen the results, and it may not be their thing anyway. But definitely when they haven't seen the results, sometimes it's harder. Whereas like if you're like, oh, you're now living proof, we're still not pushing them into it, we're still not trying to force them to come along, but we are being willing to, show the ones who now desire the result that you've gotten, how you got there, right? And the next thing I would say is to put yourself in the spaces with the people that have the positive lifestyle you desire, or at least a piece of it, right? And so I know earlier I'd mentioned find the groups that you can join, find the spaces, so like gyms, etc. But let's say for whatever reason, like, okay, like is the next town over is different right? Is that lifestyle different? Is there more of the positive lifestyle that you're looking for, more the norm there, right? Or maybe it's like maybe it's like a train ride away or a bus ride away, right? That you see these people that have what you're viewing as a positive lifestyle, that you are desiring. And if it is, like, try to spend some time there, right? Try to go visit those places. And it may not be groups, it may be actual physical places. So ask yourself what the aspects are that you're wanting to change in your life. Like, what is the negative lifestyle? What are the things that are negative that you want to make positive? And what is that positive that you were going for? And then once you have that, start looking around for the areas that have that seem to value those positive aspects that you were looking for, and go be in that, right? And that can just be being around that, and then it's also going to be being involved in it. Go find like the meetups, go find the Facebook groups, right? Really, there are any number of resources, and if you seem to find in your area that maybe you're not finding the spaces, you're not finding the people, go outside of your area, or you may actually need to hire someone to work with you to get you there, because you don't have that, like, you don't have those groups of people near you, and that's okay too. But if you've realized that, hey, this lifestyle is not for me, it's not benefiting me, it is like I'm suffering because of it, and I need help, and I need to shift out of it, then shift out of it and get the help that you need, right? And if it seems too big, or it seems like I can't get the help that I need, make it a little smaller, right? So sometimes we go for like the really big thing, the whole enchilada that we can see, right? And we're like, I want that, but you can't find that. So you need to find, like, okay, cool, like what is the meat? What is the cheese? What is the tortilla, right? And look for the smaller bits to help you build your own. So that's what I would say for how to change a negative lifestyle when everybody's doing it, is to first realize that, one, not everybody's doing it. It's more likely just the people that you're around all the time. And if you can start to switch that, you'll start to see that, and you can find people that you can connect with and start doing those things, right? Or you may be the one to create it. Start small if you need to start small, right? Make the little micro changes if making the big changes is too hard. And be willing to go look weird, potentially fail, be thought to be all sorts of things by the people around you who are living that negative lifestyle that you are personally changing for yourself, that you are choosing not to live for you. And understand the journey may be a little lonely for a while. It may feel like a loss, to be honest, because some of the people around you will maybe not fuck with you anymore. And as painful as that may seem, and as much as that may hurt your heart, keep in mind that ultimately may be a blessing for the next version of you that you're working to create right now. Thank you for your time and attention. If you enjoyed this episode, follow the show. If someone came to mind while you were listening to this episode, please take a moment to share it with them. If you're interested in joining a community and diving further into these topics, please visit theessenceofexpression.com/community and request to join our community group. Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night or day, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.